Hello, Capricorn, and welcome back to your part two, the extended of your reading. So, Capricorn, in the previous reading, we were talking about how it seems like you and an authority figure are kind of at like a standstill. And it seems like you're wanting to be seen, you want to be noticed, and it's like this emperor, your boss, your supervisor, whoever that may mean to you, it could, it's looking more, I don't know, it's kind of looking more like a work situation versus, I mean, it could be like your family, especially with that Queen of Pentacles here, Emperor, all of that stuff. Um, but you're wanting to be seen by them and kind of put in a higher position, it seems like. But there's a looping that is happening here where it's kind of like, but you also don't want to fall in line with um, with the with the patterns, with the behavioral patterns that they want in their dominion. So they rule that space, but you're not necessarily wanting to fall in line. And so it's kind of leaving you to look at the situation with a new mind state. And while that is happening, it's like you're receiving this gorgeous crown awakening. And in that crown awakening, it's like the emperor is also changing their mind as well. Um, and it seems like we left off the last reading, the last portion, we left off in trying to find a strategy that would help you. And what we noticed was that there is like a spirit, right? A spirit guide, one that is very loyal to you and that's trying to kind of like grab your pants leg and turn you into a new direction, turn you into a new strategy, especially with the seven of swords. And of course, with that new strategy, it's going to involve you using the abilities that are like you've honed these abilities. So with this strategy in play, it seems like there's like a tent back here. So we don't want to go into that same old cycle of the loop that we were referring to, where you're like being forced to like step in line. And instead of stepping in line, it seems like there's another option. There's another option here that is tied to the strategy that you're wanting to be noticed. You're wanting to be seen for all the things that you have achieved, all the things that you have achieved with this badge. Look at these flowers here. So this new strategy is coming up as a tent. And before, we were talking about how like this emperor rules this space. This is their dominion, right? They rule the land. Here, it's talking about you actually going into their personal space. So while they may have dominion over, like, okay, for instance, we're talking about work, right? So while they have, you know, the entire business is operated by them, they have an office. It's kind of like going to their office, going into the emperor's tent, the emperor's space. Okay, so we're starting off the second portion of your reading with the rabbit and fox. And this is presented here as you appear as, she's sitting on the moon. So, this energy here is very reflective of the Five of Swords. See how they're both sitting in this deep contemplation? There's a difference here, though, because in this Five of Swords, there's, you remember how we were talking about this guardian here? This one that is very loyal to you? It's coming through as like a spirit guide. A spirit guide. So when you're in this Five of Swords, the spirit guide is not present. They're, well, because you're in a split energy, so it's like your focus isn't on them. Your focus, your mind is entrenched in this like trying to decide what move to make next in order to get the outcome that you desire. So with the rabbit and fox energy, though, there's a difference here because it's including the advice. They're coming through as like a spirit guide. It's including the advice of the spirit guide. They're presented here as a dog. They're also presented here as a fox. So the fox, it's interesting, they're shifting from this dog loyal energy to this fox. The fox is it's a energy that wants you to follow them. It wants you to follow them. It's like they've been following you this whole time. And, just by your side, being loyal to you, kind of just following you on your adventures. But now there's a shift that's happening. The shift between the Five of Swords and the rabbit and fox is that now they want you to follow them. The fox wants you to follow them because they have something to show you that is going to influence the strategy that you need to have in order to get whatever you're desiring. And it's like it's almost like as soon as you turn, you're met with this Ace of Wands. So it's like as soon as you go into a new mind state, a new place in which you can, a new way of looking at things. It is, again, the Four of Swords. So yes, it is, again, you are again going back to the Four of Swords, but you're carrying the Seven of Swords with it. This is interesting. I'm just now noticing how we have, on your first row, we have the Four. It's all swords energy, so this means it's all mental. We have the Four progressing to the Five. We're skipping the Six and then going straight to the Seven. So it's like the Six of Swords. What's missing here is the Six of Swords. The Six of Swords talks about, it talks about moving on, actually. Moving on from a situation that is detrimental to your mental state. And in moving on, you then move into the Seven, which is establishing a strategy that is going to be needed in the Eight of Swords, right? That's the next progression. So, but what's presented here is the Fool instead. So it's like at the Six of Swords, at that moment where you feel like you need to leave, that's when this guide steps in. That's when that spirit guide steps in and is wanting to shift you from that mind state of that you need to leave, and is trying to present to you a new strategy, a new approach to how you can actually with the Ace of Wands here, how you can mend the gap. How you can mend the gap between you here and this emperor with his, you know, he's got this huge castle and all this stuff. You know, he's got all this shit over there. You know, sorry. Sometimes when I start to channel, it's like, you know. Anyways, so what it's encouraging you to do, what this guide is encouraging you to do, is to go to their office. Go into their space subtly with the tiger energy. You need to be camouflaged, be subtle. Go into their office without allowing them to know what you want. It's almost like don't tell them what you want, because energetically, because this is all energetically, what's going to happen is as your crown, as your mind opens, as you view this from a different perspective, as you gain this strategy in order to actually get what you want, it's almost like if you were to tell them, it's kind of like then they'll see the tiger. Does that make sense? So what it's talking about here, and the tiger is a tiger that you were in the wild and you saw a tiger, like all of a sudden coming out of the brush, you would want to, well, the emperor is going to want to fight it. Do you see what I'm saying? The emperor is want to, because he rules his domain. So it's like, don't alert the emperor that you're coming for them. You have to be subtle. You need to be very subtle. You need to utilize your camouflage abilities, flying under the radar. That's weird. Okay, what it's talking, okay. The phrase, the rebellion will not be televised. Is that how it goes? The revolution will not be televised. That's the phrase that's coming out right here. Don't televise what you're doing, because it's like you would be giving them the strategy. It's like you don't want them to come up with a counter strategy. Does that make sense? So it's like go into their space with this. This is interesting. Go into their space with kind of like this Queen of Pentacles energy, this like really calm, serene, chill vibe about you. Because they're going to be more receptive to this. They're more receptive to this type of energy. So in order to mend the gap here, like when you're going into their office, and going into their office could mean physically, like actually stepping into their office, approaching them, but it could also mean their office being like, because this is all mental, stepping into their mind. Stepping into their mind, their headspace. Step into their headspace. And then that's going to help to mend the gap. Which you, Capricorn, this is your forte. That is exactly what you do. You're able to step into new mind spaces, mindsets. So it's like step into their mind. And then that's going to help to bridge the gap between you two. And with this Ace of Wands, so, you know, of course, with this Ace of Wands, your guide is suggesting for you to give them something, to give them an idea, a creative idea, a creative endeavor, some type of a brand new, could be like a project or something that you want to work on, but you're giving it to them, which means you are influencing their mind. And the way that you're going to be able to do that is through this Death Mother. I love this card. It's one of my favorite cards. It never comes out. Never. I don't think it's ever come out on the channel. So the Death Mother. Look how, wow. Look at this card. Oh, I love it. Okay. So they're wanting you to give something to them that is going to help influence them, influence their mind. There's a strategy here. And the strategy has something to do with music. Because what I'm seeing here is, like, you see this link? This, I don't know if you can see this like thread here. It kind of looks like, it's like you're like, you go into their space, you're like, hey, listen to the song. They put it in their ears, right? And now they're listening to the song. And as they listen to the song, their mind opens up. It's in the, see, it's in the head. So whatever song you choose is going to help frame how you want them to view you. Does that make sense? So we're doing a little, I like this. It's very Capricorn. So, okay, it needs to be something that is of interest to them, of like, it strikes passion within them. So if we're talking, since we're talking about like music, sharing some type of song, especially with the Death Mother, it kind of has like this vibe of like metal, like sharing metal, like metal songs, metal music, whatever, you know what I'm saying, like death metal. That's what it kind of, that's what it feels like to me. So like sharing music with somebody, you know, when you do that, what ends up happening is like you are curating, it's not creating, it's different, because you're curating it. You're curating a connection between you two that is, it brings you on the same level, because now you've been able to, you know, music expresses our emotions, our emotional state. Music helps to share the stories that we've gone through, all of those types of things. And it's when we then share that music with somebody else, it's like they can then see into our space. Okay, here we go. So you're wanting to step into their mind, into their mindset. You share a song with them that helps to bring both of you on the same level. It's helping to bring both of you on the same level. And then what's the next thing that they do? They then share a song with you. And it's like that song is going to help you see things from their mind, from their point of view. And as you continue to exchange these songs, it's going to help bridge the gap between you two. You're going to become more like meshed together. You're going to understand each other more. Do you see what I'm saying? So, and in that understanding, it's like that's what's going to help to change their view of you. And then as they change their view of you, they then shift into this Hierophant. This is so beautiful because we have them positioning themselves as the Emperor. You know, it's very stern, strong. It's my way or the highway. I'm going to put all these restrictions in place so that you can fall in line in the way that I want you to. That's the Emperor. But when you share that bit of you, the musical side of you, it's like it transforms them into the Hierophant. And what's fascinating here is that when we think about, you know, the progression of tarot, we have a lot of progression here. Maybe they like progressive metal. Who knows? But when we look at the progression here in the tarot and in of your spread, what we see here is that, you know, they're presented as the Emperor and then they progress to the Hierophant. The Emperor is 4, right? Oh my God, you're about to flip the script on them. Okay, so the Emperor is 4 and then the Hierophant is 5. Remember how you were going from the 4 to the 5? It's almost like you are exchanging positions with them because you want them to see it from your perspective. So when they go into this Hierophant, when they progress into this Hierophant, you see how their ears, all of their mind, it's illuminated. It's completely the musical aspect of you, the music, it's coming through as music. It's illuminating them. It's bringing their consciousness. It's awakening their consciousness. It's like you, okay. So you have this innate ability, right? In your crown chakra, you have an innate ability to be able to change mind, have a new mind, transition your mind, you know, progress, that type of thing. And it seems as though this is just what's coming through. You were brought into their life. This is on a universal orchestration to awaken their crown. And you're doing your job. You're doing what you're supposed to do. You know what I mean? You are awakening them on a spiritual level, on a energetic level, and it's through music. So as you this is interesting because it's kind of linking the spiritual and the practical world. So as you do your spiritual work to open up their crown, it's like okay, so let's use it's like that energy is going to manifest itself in the earth realm as them kind of understanding your point of view and moving your position or opening up your position, because they're going to see that, okay, it's kind of like an above below thing. It's like whatever happens in the spiritual realm, in the energetics, it happens really fast. That's the thing. It happens quicker in the energetic realm versus in the practical realm, because when that energy moves from above to below, it slows down, because this realm is it's more dense. So when it slows down, it's like you're not seeing the progress that you're wanting, because you're feeling it energetically, but then it's not actually like happening. So, you know, of course, now we have this new strategy that's going to help them to see the position that you're in currently as a position that is not beneficial for your growth. Because you are, so like as their crown becomes illuminated, it's like they're going to see that you are in this Eight of Swords. It is so beautiful. I love this. You have a progression from the 4 to 5 to the 7 to the 8, and you know, your guides are stepping in here at the 6, which means they want, it's like they're trying to get to you before you make a decision to leave. Okay? So when you share this music, when you like let them listen to your music, you listen to their music, you're both having this exchange. You're actually, this is interesting, you're actually being very vulnerable too in this exchange, because music is, I mean, it's your music. Like if you share it, it shares like a part of your soul, right? So in this movement, they are going to see how you have been in the Eight of Swords, how you've been kind of trapped, right? Trapped in this position. You're not trapped, because it's like you could easily release yourself from this situation. You can easily release yourself from this situation. But what's coming through here is that your guides do not want you to release yourself from this situation, because it's like there's something that's going to happen. There's a blooming that's going to happen that you're not yet aware of, but you do need to play a part in a sense that by applying the strategy that they're giving to you to kind of fly under the radar for the time, it's almost like building a deeper connection, build a deeper connection with the Emperor through music. And it's like their crown is going to be illuminated, and they're going to see that you are in this Eight of Swords. And I'm inclined to say that when they see this, they're going to want to release you, because it's the Hierophant. The Hierophant, while the Hierophant does still have some restrictions, it does still hold order in their dominion, if you will. The Hierophant is more understanding than the Emperor. So what you're trying to do is you're trying to get them to a place where they are open to understanding you. And so this is a strategy that needs to be had. And it feels as though that once they understand that you feel this way, that, well, you know, it's interesting, feelings versus the mind, that you are this way. Something, there's another action that's going to be taken on their part. What's the 6? Because there's a lot of progression here. The 4 is the Emperor. The 5 is the Hierophant. So it's telling me that the next step for them is the 6. So the 6 is the Lovers. And the Lovers talks about a decision that is made not with the mind, but with the heart. So they're going to choose from their heart space, versus before when they were choosing from their mind space. All right, Capricorn, I hope that helped you, and I will see you next time. Bye.